Hello friends, this is Sharmi with the Amateur Gardener, doing a short garden tour today of my front. Let me take you along and show you what's going on. Okay, the first thing I wanted to show you is start from the right hand corner of my house. I have a big crepe myrtle here, you can see that there. This is acanthus. I'll put the information up on the screen. And this one is the eclipse hydrangea. I don't do anything to them, they just leave it alone, but I can see growth coming from the bottom. And this one is a panicle hydrangea. This is, I believe, first. I'll put the name up. Okay, has some boxwood, some hollies at the back, and then this will be a show in about a few weeks from now. I can show you the flowers. So this is the Texas mountain laurel, and I can show you what it looked last year, and this year looks like we are going to get a show. Sometimes when you get a freeze towards the end of the year, you don't get the show, but this looks like purple, like bright purple. All 5 of these are like David Austin roses. It's Tranquility. I don't remember all the names off the top of my head. It's been some time that I planted this. This is Roald Dahl. This one is Princess Anne. That one is Scepter d'Isle, and lastly this is Cardinal. So I did cut them about, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe a little more, but they're starting to flush out, and then just have a lot of leaves. Cleaned up some of the stuff from the ground. I do have salvia. This is Rock and Plain, the blue salvia from Proven Winners. They'll be awesome here. They just fill up the bottom layer of this tree, standard form roses. There are some Plain the blue salvia here as well. There's a blue juniper here, and some leftover flowers from my fall planting. These are some pansies and some dianthus and snapdragons that I just cut back. That is some euphorbia. I think that's Ascot rainbow, and there is a rose. I think that one is a Bathsheba. There's another rose there that I planted years ago. I don't even remember what it is. I do have plants here, like, let me show you both sides. So this is a perennial mum. So these come bloom in the fall, winter. I can probably get another flush from it. I just cut it back today. And then this is verbena, or this is superbena pink cashmere. That one, I planted it last year. All of them survived. Let me show you both sides of the entrance. I have red buds on both sides. This one is a Texas red bud. That's a smaller one. This is slightly larger one. That's Appalachian red bud. This is my vitex tree that I have shaped and cut back. These don't die, actually. These were planted 2 years ago, and both years it comes back. I do have some Japanese yew, but this is the prostrata variety. And then I have some bulbs that I had planted last year. I didn't plant any this year, but these are hyacinths. Looks like some of them came back. I have roses here, so that is why this area is looking kind of bland right now. But there are quite a few David Austin roses, some of the Proven Winners, Reminiscent series roses. That's pretty much it. And there are some roses, like there's a Midas yellow, 2 of them there. And then in the front again, this is more of the dianthus that I had planted. I think these are all fall planted. I have some carnations here. Let me show you. These ones are superbena pink cashmere. I have some kale, but these are the dianthus that I had planted in the fall. Some of them have started to bloom, like that one. This is the Chinese French tree. I have 2 of them. This one's the full-size one. This is called China Snow. And then I have a Tokyo Tower on the other side of the driveway. Okay, this is my my third red bud here. This one has been doing awesome. already started with some little teeny tiny blooms. This is the rising sun red bud. Have some sunshine ligastrum there that we just cut back. There's a yellow buddleia in the middle, and there's a chitalpa in the back. Some usual gardenias here. The other side, I have a row of iceberg roses, lots of them. And then we have, this is all of them. I had cut them back about a few weeks ago. They look fabulous, and they will be flowering a lot. And then I have some dianthus as ground cover at the bottom. These dianthus, they flower in like winter, spring. They start flowering in fall, I believe, and then they take a back seat over the summer, and then they come back again. I have some lisianthus here. These were all planted last year. In my experience, lisianthus to me is a biennial. These were planted last year, so they should put on a good show this year. And then I'll plant some this year as well. They're still in the works, but will be planting them, and that will be for next year. Primus Supreme finished its bloom, not looking that hot, but it'll be fine. And there is Snow Chan, which is also looking great. This is some plumbago. And then there are two proven winners, Rose of Sharon's here. One's a tall one, one's a more rounded one. And then this one that looks literally like sticks now is one of my faves. It is ginkgo. It's a Marican, ginkgo biloba, so dwarf ginkgo. Looks fabulous. This one is also another fave. This is the Seryu, Japanese maple. Has been here for about, I would say, since at least 2021, so 4 years. Some azaleas here and there. There's another camellia there. This is a rose. I think this is the veranda white. This is another standard form white rose. Lots of rock and plain the blue salvia here. This is variegated hydrangea, bloomed last year. And then some, this is a Japanese plum hue. This is a variegated gardenia. Then I have, this is a Chinese French tree. This is Tokyo Tower. Looks like nothing right now. There is some purple diamond loropetalum. There's another red loropetalum here. This is another camellia. So this is the Jury's yellow, I believe. Camellia. And then this one is Duke's something, I forgot. But this is also a plum hue. That is juniper, and that one I'm going to put the name up. I think it's called gold something. And then this is a tea olive. Some of the tips of these got nipped in the recent freeze we had this past week, but as you can see, it'll go fine. And then we have some, forgot to show you that camellia that was recently planted. That is a double camellia, pink one. And then this one is a rose. It's a climbing rose and beautifully thornless rose. It's Lady Banks rose. And I have to still twine it through this big beautiful trellis. It's the same trellis I used for my Peggy Martins. So I have to still twine it through it, and it'll be a relatively easier job because there are no thorns. And on the other side of my entrance, this side I have a clematis, and I still have to take out the dead and the dying, but as you can see, it has started to flush out. And I forgot the name of this clematis. I do have it written. I think it's a very light pink one. Small flowers. And lastly, but not the least, I have here, I'm forgetting the name of this, but I'm going to put the name up online. It produces like white droopy flowers in the spring. There's an iris here, and I have the name of this iris somewhere written down. I have to show it to you. And nothing happened in last week's freeze. I didn't cover a single thing. There's nothing much to show right now except what survived our freezes, and we had 2 this year so far, and I hope we don't get another one. So far, all that I had expected will survive made it, which is great, and the ones that I didn't expect to make it Some of them did, some of them didn't, and which is just fine. I had planted marigolds here. Of course, I don't expect marigolds to survive a freeze, and I didn't even cover them because I didn't feel the need to. I'm going to plant something fresh in spring. I have fresh set of marigolds sitting in my greenhouse now, which I'll probably plant sometime in early March. Hopefully you liked what I tried to show you. This is the baseline for me for my front garden for the year 2025. A lot of it will start, leafing out and blooming as the time goes, and then I do plan to plant some annuals as well in spots and to give like my splash of colors. If you did like the video, do hit a like and do subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends and family, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.